Welcome to episode 91 of Instant Expertise Marketing. With all the talk about what generative AI can and can't do, what it got right and what it got wrong, most people are missing its true potential. We're calling it the Build-A-Bear Epiphany. Let's jump right in. I'm Yvette Brown, co-founder of X Promos. I became an entrepreneur at 23 by starting a promotions agency with my then 29-year-old business partner, Sherry Nomady. Sherry and I not only use generative AI every day, very differently, I might add, but we are continuing to urge all knowledge workers to prioritize upskilling on AI like your job depends on it, because it most likely does.
And I'm Sherry Nomady, and you guys know Yvette and I approach business from very opposite ends of the spectrum, yet we do always come to the same conclusions on how we will help our clients succeed. As we continue to work on the jagged edge frontier of this AI model, we are struck by the different realities and the essential truths, those aha moments. And we're all in this learning together. And not everything was obvious the very first day that ChatGPT dropped.
Really, to be fair, nothing was obvious at the beginning. It was like when an advanced alien spacecraft lands and you spend your first period of time trying to get over the astonishment of what you're seeing and what just happened. And then you're kind of become like that stick figure meme where the guy is poking at something with his little stick saying, do something, right? Some people are still standing outside that spacecraft poking it with a stick. And what we've come to realize is that the real learning begins once you get inside. And that's really another huge aha. You don't even know what you don't know until you get inside, until you start using it regularly and kind of testing and seeing what it's capable of.
Definitely. And yet, that's another reason to start skilling up in earnest right now, and why we are working so hard to share these insights with you. In fact, we'll talk a little bit more about that in a few moments, but right now we are really excited to announce that we are doing an AI training week, December 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Okay, don't worry, it's not a full week. It's just Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So you can still have long weekends. And it's only 1 hour a day. But I promise it will be jam-packed with useful AI uses for sales and marketing teams specifically. It is entirely free, and we would love to see all of you there. But right now, Yvette, I think we should get back to that Build-A-Bear concept.
100% agreed, Sherry. The only thing I do want to add is that the reason we're doing this over 3 days is because there literally is so much mind-blowing information in each hour of these sessions that it would really be overwhelming to try and jam that all into one 3-hour session one day. And so we're giving you a spacer each day to absorb this, understand what just happened, come back the next day for more. And that's really a better strategy and a better way that people learn. So as you asked me about the Build-A-Bear principle, here's the thing.
Yes.
Once you start using AI regularly, and that doesn't even matter if it's ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, Claude, whatever, you start getting more comfortable. And that's when you start exploring its boundaries. And that's when really exciting things start to happen. So I was actually doing some big brain thinking this last weekend about this upcoming webinar series. And that's when the Build-A-Bear Epiphany hit me.
Now, the Epiphany does need a little bit of context, so let me say that right now. We're going back to the Industrial Revolution. Before the revolution, goods were made by people in cottages and villages, which is where that phrase, cottage industries, came from. High quality, handcrafted goods, but profits were limited, well, because of logistics and limitations on how they could be made. So in short, yes, they could not scale. But then the Industrial Revolution solved that scaling issue in a really big way, but by not only creating the assembly line for faster production, but by standardizing all of the parts as well. So now everything was interchangeable and super efficient.
And that was really all good and well, except for those 72-hour factory work weeks, the use of child labor, and the general squalid conditions. But, like
Oh, a
Sherry
few things.
said, the products were made quickly and efficiently, and they were cheaper than those that were made by hand. But then, a funny thing happened. And that funny thing happened over decades. And with everything becoming standardized and sort of samey, samey, people began to yearn for handmade goods. They missed that touch of humanity.
Well, so you've already guessed it by now, probably. Over time, we built new industries, and they were based on the exact opposites of standardized manufacturing. And then it was handcrafted that became the buzzword for multiple industries. Everything from craft beers to leather goods and farmers market jams. And then handcrafted went and leveled up to personalized. That was everything from things remembered kiosk at the mall where you could etch your initials onto a bracelet to that global platform we now know and love as Etsy, delivering a whole host of customized goods. And so personalization was in demand.
Absolutely. You remember those things that remembered kiosks? Those were such
Oh,
the rage
yeah.
at the time. And,
Oh my
you know,
gosh, it was jam packed all the time.
all the time, especially during the holidays. And, this really shuttled in the era of Build-A-Bear, also found in malls. And the idea
Mhm.
here is that you could create a plushie that was uniquely yours. And this is everything from, not just the outer coating of your bear, but the stuffing inside, the iconic heart that you had to kiss and make a wish and stick inside, the birth certificate that had the name that you chose on it. Build-A-Bear became phenomenally successful. It was a destination for birthday parties and special events, and the brand grew mightily. And the thing about it, though, is really, when you think about it, Build-A-Bear was able to little baby step closer to that holy grail of business, which is personalization at scale.
And they weren't the only ones chasing personalization at scale. The idea of mass customization at scale became a reality. And it started in the 90s with brands that made baby steps along the way, like custom created Nikes and Levi's custom cut and tailor made to your exact body dimensions. Also during that era, we created key account programs for Mattel Toys for their key retailers like Toys R Us and Target. And those were supported by national campaigns, but the retailers were much more amenable to support your initiatives if you had something exclusive to offer them. This insight evolved in today's ABM programs. B2B marketers discovered that C-level executives would respond to cold outreach if the outreach helped solve an existing business problem. It's a great solution, but that too is hard to scale. It's time consuming. It requires sales and marketing collaboration, which is sometimes great, sometimes not so great. And yet the B2B teams are trying and investing over 25% of their budgets in ABM and reporting that it's delivering the best ROI of any marketing campaigns.
Yeah, and that's really the thing is ABM is a great example of inching towards the holy grail of personalization at scale. And of course, the thing is, technology accelerated personalization at scale, which is why we have personalized Spotify playlists and Netflix suggestions based on your watch history. Social media, of course, is always tweaking its algorithms to try to serve you more content that you like with the goal of staying on the platform longer.
And that brings us to the modern day large language models filled with massive bodies of human knowledge. The aha isn't that you can tap into the knowledge. No, the aha is much bigger than that. It's our Build-A-Bear Epiphany. With generative AI, you can personalize your problem-solving needs and those of others at scale now.
Yeah, and let's just pause there for a second, Sherry, because the implications are massive. Essentially, what we have come to realize is that we, the collective we, can finally deliver, at least digitally, what humans have wanted since the dawn of the Industrial Revolution: a completely personalized experience, one that is faster and better than what we could have created on our own. And this is the essence of why humans are such a critical part of the equation, and why we have said all along that AI-powered humans can do extraordinary things quickly and efficiently. It's what augmented intelligence, if you've heard that term, that's what it's all about. The secret here is applying your experiences to the knowledge of the world, all of the knowledge of the world, which is what's contained in the LLM models, and using that to uncover new insights, to make decisions faster, better, and more completely, to be able to create even better deliverables, and of course, finding answers to simple questions, but specific questions in a flash. And it doesn't really stop there. We're really much I hate to go on like this, but we're really so much closer to the Matrix style of learning than people realize. You know, back in the way it worked in the Matrix is that when Neo needed to learn Kung Fu or something, he would just go into the little chair and they'd plug a thing into the back of his head, and all the Kung Fu knowledge would like zip into his brain. And then the next, you know, he could do all that stuff, right? Well, that's not quite where we are, but we're kind of close to that. So for instance, let's say you wanted to learn about pine tree species in North America, or maybe you want to dive into overlooked women of science from the past 150 years. Okay, you can not only have AI generate that information for you, but it will develop a lesson plan for you based on that timeline that you provide in the style that you learn best. This was sort of like the moment for me, as recently we did some company training sessions with AI, okay? I learned that I can ask AI to use analogies and a particular style to help teach me a concept, any concept in the world, like Neo's concepts, right? So as you guys may know, I love hockey. I'm pretty passionate about it. So I asked for a hockey analogy to explain this high-level concept to me, because it had presented an example that had to do with sailing, and I don't really know anything about sailing. That's a story for another day. And to be honest, understanding the concept was so much clearer and easier for me to get it, right? I totally got it when they put it in a context of hockey terms. And AI, just like this, generated this hockey analogy for me on this high-level concept in a matter of moments.
Yes, AI makes every journey different because every human being is different. We have some shared experiences, yes, but every journey of life is different for everyone, each with its own goals, aspirations, and even setbacks. As for consumers, Google taught us decades ago that every path to purchase is different. Having tracked over 4,000 shopper journeys, they know that. So yes, now with AI, custom problem solving, big and small, is only a click away. However, you do need to know how to ask the right questions, and that and more is what you will learn in our training sessions.
Yeah, and that's really it. You don't have to be a coder or a programmer, but you do need to ask good questions and understand how to tap into those models, whether you're doing high-level problem solving or, you know, simple tasks that you want to accomplish to get your deliverables done. And that's really why we're continuing to advocate for everyone to skill up on AI. Kind of think of it this way. You know that there's a chest of gold out there, right? AI and its capabilities, we talk about, you know, 200% productivity gains. That's your chest of gold. It's the treasure chest. you can either take the scavenger hunt approach, aimlessly picking up bits and bytes along the way and trying to figure out how it all works together, or you can follow the treasure map and you can learn how to use AI with intention, getting a foundation in just 9 hours of training, 9 1-hour sessions. We're big on those 1 hours.
Yep.
Both approaches are going to face obstacles along the way. Both approaches will have key learnings along the way. But guess what? One of those approaches is going to get to the prize. They're going to get to the treasure chest much, much quicker.
And Yvette and I have lots of people ask us, how will AI specifically help me in my organization? And like any good marketer, the answer is always, well, it depends.
True.
But we do want to get serious about helping as many people along the way as we possibly can. So we are doing this free 3-day AI training focused on sales and marketing teams specifically. Again, it's December 3rd, 4th, and 5th. It's only 1 hour each day. I promise it will be packed with value for anyone in sales and marketing. You're going to walk away and say, whoa, what just hit me?
Yeah. And, day one is going to focus specifically about using, off-the-shelf AI for sales teams. Day two is similarly going to showcase marketing teams. And then day three, we're going to be actually doing some live hot seats to show how AI can solve real business problems. Mm-hmm. And in each day, as we've worked through this, we're actually going to show you what this looks like when you're a high-level executive in sales and marketing and what it looks like when you're a frontline employee, because it's different, but that's the point, is that AI can tackle both. And for both sets of folks and everyone in between, it can really double your productivity. You can get your stuff done in half the time on average. It's kind of scary that good. And we're talking about the off-the-shelf models.
Yeah.
Now, we're also very excited, super pumped to be collaborating with Lisa Palmer of Dr. Lisa AI. She is actually Dr. Lisa, who has a doctorate degree in AI. She is considered the foremost AI strategist in the marketplace today. She is awesome. And she is out helping the C-suites and boards envision business value from AI. So we're really excited to be collaborating with her on this and really can't wait to get this thing going.
However, seating is limited, and that's a real statement. So you can register today at xpromos.com/scale up. We would love to see all of you there and start learning.
Yep. And so that's it for us today. We hope you take AI enablement really seriously, as your job may very well depend on it. So it's an easy way to get an edge today in the marketplace. You just have to get out there and get after it. So, as always, thank you for listening, and remember to like and subscribe to stay well connected to the very latest on AI and marketing and sales.